I'm Kayla, and we're here at TEIWAZSTRIKING Gym with Joshua. Josh?
Yes, Josh. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Just give us a brief introduction.
Yeah, so I'm from the U.S. I'm from Pennsylvania. I grew up wrestling and doing all sorts of things, but I started traveling after college, after I wrestled in college, and I was in Australia, and one of the guys that I was staying with had a Thai wife. So through all this, long story short, I ended up coming to Thailand, and I liked it. So when COVID happened, I came out here. I was coaching kids back home in wrestling, and then I was training jiu-jitsu and stuff, and then I kind of transitioned into coaching. I don't want to say transitioned, I was already coaching, but coaching fighters and coaching jiu-jitsu guys and things like that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So how long have you been training for then?
Wrestling?
Yeah.
I've been wrestling since I was 6. I'm 28, so training for comps, maybe like, I don't know, 16 years, but coaching the last 8-ish years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been here for a while.
A while, yeah. Not all in Thailand. I was coaching back home, but yeah, I've been wrestling for a while, involved in martial arts for a long time. Yeah.
And what motivated you to start wrestling?
I had a friend that I hung out with, me and my brother, and his dad was the wrestling coach. So he was like, "Come try wrestling." And after we started, we just
Oh my God.
And once we started, me and my brother never stopped, and yeah.
And how about coaching then? What motivated you to start coaching?
I was out of the sport. Like when I stopped wrestling in college, I was out of the sport and I wanted to be involved. So I naturally back home just started coaching kids wrestling. I had like my own club and all that. And it's kind of unheard of to coach like adult wrestling unless you're like a world level coach, like on the world team or Olympic team. No really adults wrestle back home unless they're like really good, you know?
Yeah.
And then I started training jiu-jitsu, and that's how I got involved in coaching adults. And it's good, but it's different because it's wrestling for jiu-jitsu or wrestling for MMA. So we kind of cut a lot of stuff out.
Okay, because it wasn't focused on wrestling.
Right, yeah, wrestling's a lot more free. You can't get submitted, you can't get punched in the face. So you can kind of just do anything, you know?
Okay.
So with MMA, you got to be a little bit more strategic. Less you can do, but more you have to watch out for, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. How long did it take you to figure out the most effective way for you for coaching?
I kind of had it in me because I had good coaches growing up. Like, as far as like how to run training sessions and what's important and the things to focus on and the structure, I kind of just grew up in a system where it's like second nature. I never really no one ever taught me how to coach. I just had good coaches around me. But as far as learning like the content matter, right? Like what do I teach jiu-jitsu guys or what do I teach fighters?
What does it kind of look like?
Right. I'd say from training jiu-jitsu, I learned, like when I started training jiu-jitsu, I learned what works because I was actually doing it, you know?
True.
So I was getting choked or armbarred or this, and I would be like, okay, this doesn't work or this works, you know? And I kind of built my own system. And then going into striking, because I'm not an MMA fighter. I've never fought MMA. So going into coaching strikers, I learned a lot from my friends who are wrestlers that transitioned and watching how wrestlers fight in MMA and seeing kind of the systems and things. So MMA coaching was a little bit harder for me because I never fought. And I'm still getting better at it. There's still things I need to work on. But wrestling for jiu-jitsu or grappling is pretty simpler. And it's honestly, once we make the connection, like after, we're throwing punches and we connect our bodies, everything's pretty standard. It's pretty much the same. But between like striking and grappling, that's where it gets a little hairy, a little dangerous. Yeah, I would say.
Between striking and grappling.
Yeah, to make the connection. Like I need to box into my wrestling or do Muay Thai into my wrestling. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're still learning.
I'm learning that.
Things together.
I'm learning that much, but once they're connected,
you break it down.
Confident. Yeah, super confident.
Yeah. What is the most tedious part about when it comes to preparing fighters?
I guess fighters like personalities. I guess everyone's different, and as a coach, you can't treat everyone the same because everyone responds differently. Some people you can push really hard and yell at them, and even though I'm not really like that, I do it in a funny way. I'm not really like mean about it though. But yeah, just understanding everyone's a professional, and I'm coaching guys and I'm trying to make them into champions, or I'm trying to take guys that are already good and add value to them. So I think it's just understanding that all these guys come from a system of their own and their own regime. So I have to accommodate that. Not that I can't expect guys to do what I want them to do, but fighting is very mental. So if I'm preparing a fighter that's always prepared a certain way, my way, they might mentally go into that fight thinking they left stones unturned or something. So I think it's just really knowing the fighter and knowing the person and finding out what they want and then adding to it and kind of helping them instead of hey, I'm the coach, do what I say. Because again, it's all mental. You could be the best wrestler in the world, but if you don't think you prepared well,
you don't have your mind
you're going to have some doubts, So.
So you have to be very adaptable.
Yes. And not everyone thinks the coach is the boss. And it's true. When I'm in the room, I'm running the room. I expect everyone to do what I say. But when it comes to preparing someone for a fight, they're the ones investing their time, their money, their careers on this. So we need to adapt and make sure they're doing what they think they need to do. And if they're not doing what we think they should do, we can call them out and be like, hey, you should do more or do less, or So
okay. It's a good relationship that has to be built.
Of course, because they're gonna essentially go to war. They can get knocked out. The consequences are high, so they have to trust you. I wrestled with really good coaches, and the consequences of losing a wrestling match aren't that high. You're not gonna go home on a stretcher or anything. Maybe, but and I had coaches where I felt safe when they were in my corner, and I think the same with fighters. They want someone that they trust and they can listen to and know everything that guy tells them is gonna be for their best interest, so that's big. Trust.
Big on trust. How would you personally define a successful fighter?
I think a successful fighter would be someone that does everything in their power they need to do to win, and they have no quit in them. So everyone has different levels they can achieve. Not everyone is physically capable of becoming a world champ. Some people just don't have the training partners or don't have the genes or whatever, but I think a real fighter is someone who forsakes everything for the sake of fighting, and they're doing all the work when no one's looking, because there's a lot of people that they like the glitz and the glamour of, hey, I'm in Thailand, I'm on Instagram, I'm a fighter, but when you see their lifestyle, they're not really in it,
so there's a lot of integrity involved in that.
It's just doing what you need to do when no one's looking, when no one's giving you a pat on the back, like, hey, good job, because a lot of people do want that pat on the back, which is cool, but in fighting, when you're out in the cage, all your work shows. You can't hide anymore. It's you and the other guy, and if you didn't put the work in, people will see that. So I'd say it's just being the best. It's cliche, right? But being the best version of yourself and doing what you need to do. So
that makes sense. So now that you're here, you're coaching at TEIWAZSTRIKING Gym. What are your thoughts and sentiments about the quality of the training and the skill of the fighters that you're coming across here?
So personally, the reason I came here is because of the level of guys that come. I believe as far as depth here, I think there's the best fighters on the island. You have gyms with great fighters, but there's so many. There's tourists and there's professionals and there's this. Where T-Waz, I think it's the biggest concentration. Out of 10 fighters, you have 8 solid guys. So that's why I came here, is because I think he has the best pick. You have a lot of the Russians and Dagestan and all these guys with good wrestling, good discipline, guys that already came kind of from a certain regime, that they trained out of. So that's why I came here. I mean, I'm coaching, don't get me wrong, but a lot of my coaching is just I'm like a conductor. Like most of these guys know what they're doing.
Right.
So I'm just orchestrating this symphony, you know?
That's beautifully said. It makes your job quite easier.
Yeah, it's easier in a way, but it's also harder to like, I don't want to say it's harder. Like I'm a coach, this is what I do. I'm not perfect by any means, but everyone can improve, right? No one's perfect. So even myself as a coach. So, you know, you have this UFC level guy and you're like, okay, where can I help him? And so a lot of it, yeah, I'm helping them, but they already know what I'm doing, but I'm just tweaking details or things that matter. Yeah.
Maybe.
Where if I have a bunch of beginners, it's like, I know what needs done. They all need to learn this, you know?
It's more
and
clear.
it's pretty simple, you know? We're here, everyone has different wants and needs and, you know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think, if you could think of like a couple factors that you think keeps the bar so high here at TEIWAZ?
I think one is the coaching. I'll just keep myself out of it, but I see Coach Ermek, TEIWAZ, as I call him. I don't know. And some of the leaders they have in here, like some of the fighters, they hold everyone else to a certain standard, and they want everyone to show up to class. And it's a team, you know. It's a smaller gym per se for Phuket. So yeah, it's tight knit. Everyone knows when you don't show up to practice, and everyone holds each other accountable. And you know, when I first got in, I was thinking, you know, it's a bunch of Russians. They're just going to be taking each other's heads off. Like no one cares. And there is some of that in the inter-team. You know, it's like friends beating up friends. You know,
the competition.
Yeah, but that's what you need. And but no, it's actually really it's a family atmosphere. So yeah, it's everyone holding each other accountable in a team and putting you into a system. It's not like, okay, I show up to this class, I pick and choose. It's a system designed to get you ready for a fight, right? It's mostly guys doing fight camp. So it's a whole system. The coaches sit down, analyze everything, and make sure this guy's doing what he needs to do, you know? And that might be like actually pulling someone back, because we have a guy who's fighting and he looked too good too early. And I'm like, this guy looks too good and he's like 4 weeks out. He needs to slow down, because I don't know if you know, you can peak your body too early and then start going down the hill.
Is gone, right?
Yeah, so it's just being able to see that, you know, when you have a gym with 100 guys in it, coaches may not see that, but we can see everything, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd say I'd define this gym as like, you know, you go to like McDonald's, right? And you have these gyms where it's just in and out, you know, get your food and go. Well, we're like we got one executive chef and it's all a la carte, you know what I mean? They made to order, you know what I mean? So that's how I would think about it.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Enough talking.
Let's
show me what you got.
Okay.
Without hurting me.
Let me show you a most
you feel
common.
Like. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
I've never done this
You
before.
have body lock. Sorry, I'm sweaty.
Perfect.
I have whizzer. Okay, this is what jiu-jitsu guys call uchimata. Wrestlers call whizzer kick. So I'm gonna grab this tricep. I'm gonna turn my hips the same way as yours. I'm not gonna hurt you, okay? And I'm gonna kick down the center and I'm gonna put you on your back. Relax.
Let's go. Oh, that felt kind of good.
Yes.
That felt kind of nice.
So this is super common in fighting because we always get to like a body lock.
And the grip's like that, yeah?
Gable grip. So you put your thumbs on your hands. Never you do this in wrestling. Always thumbs attached. Here, this. And how you control the squeeze is your elbows.
Elbows. Okay.
Yes.
I see. Okay, cool. It almost feels like there's not a good grip here. It's probably just me.
You want to try?
Oh,
so
God. Okay.
your hand between here. Yes. Now if you can grab my tricep.
My hips this way, yeah?
Yep.
Here?
Now you're just gonna look the same way as me, and I want you to just do a donkey kick.
On your left leg.
Between my legs.
Oh God. Without hitting you in the crotch.
Think about Think about this. Think about putting your left hand on the mat. So you can just keep this hand free. Just try to put your left hand on the mat and kick.
And kick you back.
Hoop. Very
Take
good.
That.
Very good.
Okay, what's it called?
Uchimata.
Uchimata.
Japanese name.
Sounds...
It's a very common
move that's used.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? There's no way to get. How would I try to get out of that if somebody tries to?
Okay, so if you go on me, and you start to kick down the center,
well,
if my nose is in front of my toes, I'm in bad shape. So as soon as I get here, what I like to do is get my knee down the center and sit. And I can go backside.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just posture.
Thank you.
Posture is how we defend this.
And you use a lot of your weight.
Yeah, all weight. Wrestling is all pressure, all body weight.
Very cool.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Good job. Thank you.
We're good.
TEIWAZ out.
TEIWAZ. Let's go.